farmer's market is a great place to go. Now, if you're a producer, you grow your own food, you may think that this isn't what I need to do. However, keep in mind that you may have a crop failure, you may have things that aren't quite ready, or yours may be past season and you still want to eat them. You may want to teach your kids more about gardening. There's lots of reasons to go, even if you have your own vegetable garden. So let's talk about a few of the things you need to know before you go that'll make your trip to the market a little better. First of all, come prepared. Often a bag of some sort is very useful. Very often the farmers will have bags for you to put your produce in, but one of the reasons that we use markets is because we want to become more green. And using a recyclable bag is one way to do that. Also, bring small bills. Nothing worse than for the producer, the farmer, than to have you give them a $20 bill or a $50 bill. They're giving you all their change. So come with small bills so you can go through the vendors without having to stop for a lot of change. Be flexible. It's really tough to go to the market and expect to find all the produce from all of the seasons at a farmer's market. You'll find that at a grocery store, but here you're buying local, you're buying things that are regional, so expect to buy what's in season where you are. So rather than come with a recipe in mind, it might be a good idea to come look what's here, buy what looks specifically good that day, and take that home and find the recipe for it. These are all things that can make your trip a little bit better. Once you're at the market, take a few minutes to stroll through. This helps you figure out what is in season in your area and what you want to buy, and also who you may want to buy from. There are variances in vendors. While you're doing that, take a couple of minutes to stop and talk to a couple of the vendors, particularly those that you may be interested in purchasing from. That gives you an idea of questions that you may have, such as, how did you grow it? When did you harvest it? What do you suggest as far as how do I pick one out, or can you help me pick one out? How about how do I store it when I get it home? And do you have any suggestions for how I may use it when I get there? Remember that you're not at a flea market when you're at a farmer's market. So this isn't really the place where you're going in to get the really good bargain and pinch the pennies. This is the place where you're going for quality food that's produced locally, full of flavor, full of nutrition. A little bit different experience than some other places you may shop. Another difference that you'll find between here and the supermarket is that often in the supermarket things are pre-packaged. You don't get to touch them and feel them, and so the temptation when you come here is to be very hands-on. But keep in mind, produce is usually fairly delicate. Even something that, like a potato that we think of as sturdy and strong, you can damage that too. So when you're with the produce, if you're going to be touching it, make sure that you do it with the greatest respect. Don't squeeze, don't push. You can sniff, and some vendors really aren't going to be that excited about having you handle their produce. In that case, you can lean over and sniff. Last thing I want you to remember is that produce is perishable. So once you buy it, just as if you go to the supermarket, once you've finished at the farmer's market, straight home, store the food correctly in the refrigerator if need be, otherwise in a cool place. I hope you'll give all these tips a try. For Oklahoma Gardening, I'm Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.